Hey guys, happy Tuesday. We're going to go ahead and get started. Today, we're going to take a little bit of a break from talking about Facebook advertising. I know usually we cover different topics, strategy, updates, features, all that good stuff. But today, I want to talk about creating an opt-in that's actually going to convert on Facebook. Because the truth is, here's the thing. So a lot of people, you spend a lot of time creating these opt-in offers, or you're trying to brainstorm an idea, but sometimes what we think is going to work doesn't always work. So today I want to walk you through my process for creating an opt-in. I'm going to share some tools that I use to bring it all together, and I'm also going to talk about how I test things. So I've actually tested this out. I've tried, when I first got started, I'll be honest, I put off building my list for a long time, longer than I should have, and I knew better, but for whatever reason, I was dragging my feet. I had a free offer on my website, and don't worry, I'm going to actually show you what it was, so you guys can't laugh at me, because I feel like we've all been there. But I created these, and the first one I created, I just pulled it together because I knew I had to have something on my website. I wasn't really running ads to it yet. And then I created something else, and I wasn't really happy with it. I wasn't really excited about it. I mean, it wasn't something that I would go out and download and be excited to download. And eventually, after a couple tries, I finally figured out what was going to work, and it's one of my best performing free offers. I've actually got two that I use. I'm sure you've seen it. You've heard me talk about it before. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So as usual, if you've got questions as we go through these, pop it in the chat box over there. I'll get to them as we go. But yeah, so let's go ahead and dive in and talk about opt-in. So one of the hardest things, I think, is just coming up with the idea. It can be a little daunting because every time you log into Facebook or you're on Pinterest or LinkedIn, whatever, you just get bombarded with free offers. It's a free training, it's a free video series, PDF, download, whatever, you name it, there's an offer out there. So how do you create an offer that stands out against all of these other free offers? So that's your number one challenge, right? Second thing is, how do you know it's something that people really want to download, that they're actually going to use and they're going to appreciate that? Because let me tell you, I'm sure you guys have done this. You go to download something or sign up for a list. You think it's going to be really cool and you're really excited about it, and then you download it and it's just, okay, did I really need to download that? Probably not. So you want to make sure that you're delivering on what you promised to. So we're going to bring all of those pieces together. So hopefully you have something, one, that converts, that you can run ads to, run a successful campaign. So like I said, you can run a campaign all day long, but if your free offer isn't something that people want, that they're interested in, then you're just going to waste your money. And how to bring it all together. So that's what we're going to kind of touch base on today. So let's go ahead and dive in. So here are just some numbers for you. I always like to use some numbers. 95% of visitors won't buy anything on their first visit to your website. That's not super surprising to me. Whenever I go to a new website, I'm usually not going to buy. I'm kind of checking them out. I want to see what they've got. And then I might come back and buy something later. But 40% of visitors are willing to give their email in exchange for something of value. So maybe I'm not coming to your website to buy something right away, but if you've got a promo code or a sale, or you've got a really cool download or training series that I might be interested, sure, I'll give you my email. It's not going to cost me anything. And worst case, if I don't like it, I'll unsubscribe and I'll get off your list. But if I do like it, you might have a customer for life. So that's why it is so important. You guys already know this. You need to have it on your website, have it on your Facebook page, all of that good stuff. So if you want to build a list of raving fans, you've really got to get to know your customers and your clients. You need to know their pain points, their struggles, concerns. That way you can create a free offer to help solve a problem. And I think sometimes this is where people get overwhelmed with the process. It's like, usually your clients come to you with, there's a couple main issues that they're dealing with, right? Well, if you create a free offer that covers all of this stuff, you can turn it into a program. And you've got a huge amount of information. You're an expert in your field. You've been doing this. You know a lot. They're coming to you because it's your field. It's what you're good at. But we don't need to blow them away with too much information, right? So there's this fine line here between creating something that's going to help them and something that's not going to overwhelm them right out of the gate. So you want to start having conversations if you're not clear on this already, or if you're just getting started, you don't have a free offer yet. Start listening to what your clients or potential clients are saying, because there's always 3 questions you're going to get asked the most. 3, 4, 5, whatever it is. I can tell you I always get asked, are Facebook's really effective? Facebook ads really effective? How do I make my ads effective? How do I budget? What can I expect to spend on Facebook advertising? Anything around budgeting, am I spending too much? That kind of stuff. And I also get a lot of questions about images, creating images for ads. So those are probably the 3 topics that I get the most questions on. Another good tip is to go back through, if you've been posting, if you've got blog posts, videos, you've done webinars in the past, or even free trainings or workshops, what has been popular, what's worked really well, what do people respond to? They come up to you and say, you know what, I really love that tip. That's gonna help me so much, I appreciate it. Think of those little things, or as people, as you start to get feedback, remember those, write those down. That'll help you. As you're brainstorming, just create a list, write all of these down, and hopefully something will pop out at you. So like I said, I've created a few free offers. One, some I wasn't crazy about, some just didn't work. And that can be frustrating. So the next thing that I did, because I love Google, I Google everything. I think almost all of us survive on Google. If you guys went through and looked at my search history and all the questions that I'm typing into Google on a daily basis, you'd be like, what is up with this chick? But there's so much information there because everybody uses Google. So this is just a quick tip that I use. I've shared it before, but in case you haven't heard it before. So if you just go to Google, whatever your industry, whatever your niche is, just type that in. So I just search for how to use Facebook ads effectively, because like I said, that's something that I get questions on a lot. So I type that in, scroll all the way down, skip all those blog posts and articles. Don't even start clicking on those because you'll end up in a rabbit hole and God knows where you'll end up. Just scroll all the way down to where it says searches related to. So when you go to the bottom, these are other topics that people are searching for related to what you just searched for, right? So the cool thing is, that people, they're looking for this information. They're going to Google and they're looking for this. They need help with it. So when I Googled how to use Facebook ads effectively, here's just a couple of the examples. Learn to use Facebook, how to use Facebook ad coupon, photos, like I said, images. That's a question I get asked a lot. I just picked Facebook advertising strategy and I went with that. So I clicked on that, scrolled all the way to the bottom again. So searches related to. And Facebook ad formats, you see it right there in the middle, that's what popped out at me. And that's where I got the idea to create my 5 Facebook ad templates. And all I did, I just thought, you know what, if people are having a hard time figuring out how to use Facebook ads and what makes an ad effective and what images and all that good stuff, why don't I just pull together 5 of my best performing ads, drop it in a PDF, I'll break down why it worked, why it didn't work, why it did work, and the copy, this is the copy I use, this is the headline that I use, this is the image, this is how you can, you can go set it up. Hopefully it's something that you can take and tweak and use for your own business. So you can at least see what a good ad looks like or a successful ad, because like I said, it's all been tested. These are ads that I've used, these are ads that I've tried. And I go back through this and I update it. I'll refresh it. I'll go back through and put in, if I've got a new campaign that's running and an ad's doing really well, I'll swap it out. So I'm always updating and adjusting it and trying to make it a little bit better. But that's where I got the idea for that, is I Googled it. Super easy. It takes 2 seconds. You can write down a couple ideas, but I'm pretty sure if you just go between listening to what your clients have to say, the questions that they have, the topics that come up a lot, and going to Google, you should have a good idea, and hopefully it'll spark an idea for your free offer. Now, it is hard to create a completely original idea. I mean, if you're in Facebook advertising, there's only so many topics you can cover, right? But your goal is to present it in a way that's different, that's original, and to put your spin and your take on it. So it doesn't have to be the most original idea, as long as you make it yours and really make it work for you. Oops. But here's just a picture of my Facebook ad templates that rock. So you've got your idea that you've pulled together. So how do you deliver it? How do you, how do you send it to your people? You can do a video and audio. You can do PDF, templates, swipe file, promo code or sale if you're a retail site. And I always say, whatever your strong suit is, whatever you're really good at, that's how you should deliver your free offer. So if you're really great at making videos and you're really good on camera, make a video. If you're a really great writer, then you could do a PDF or an ebook. I personally love templates and swipe files. Anytime I see a template or a swipe file, I almost always sign up for it because, as I'm working on a launch or I'm working on a campaign, I love to go through my swipe file just to see if anything sparks an idea or if there's something different I can try or test out. So I love templates and swipe files. I mean, they're super easy to set up. It's stuff that you've already used, you've already tested, you've worked on. It's great to share that with people. So, like I said, I love template swipe files. Obviously, if you're retail, pop out a promo code or sale. You can test, discount, free shipping, whatever, buy one, get one free, whatever works for you. So here are a couple things you want to keep in mind, though, as you're creating your free offer. Keep it short and simple. Good lead magnet should only be a few quick tips or strategies, and the reader should be able to consume it in 5 minutes or less. So here's the thing. When someone goes to download or sign up for your free offer, they have no idea who you are. They don't know you. They're not even sure if they're going to like your content. So you want to keep it short and to the point, and you want to make sure it delivers on what you promise. I signed up for free training recently, and it was 4 40-minute videos. And I just don't have time for that. So unless you are Tony Robbins or Ryan Deiss or, one of these big names in the industry, someone that I really, I know that is worth to sit there and listen for 40 minutes. But if you're someone I've never heard of, I'm probably not going to take the time. And this is just me. You guys might be different. But to sit there and get 4 videos, 40 minutes each, I'm probably not going to do that, right? So keep it under 5 minutes. Just, a couple quick tips, a couple quick templates, or a few strategies that someone can take and use. And when they're done reading it, they say, you know what, that's awesome. I'm totally going to do that. I'm going to keep this and put this in my swipe file. So that's what your goal is, because it's an introduction. You were just, hey, how are you? Can I get your phone number? Like you're dating. You're not going to go in for the kiss on the first date, and you're not going to, well, you might, but you're not going to go on the kiss, when you first meet somebody, right? You're going to ask for their phone number. So that's what this is. So it's just a quick introduction to let people get to know you. So then they know if you're someone that they resonate with, someone that they feel like they can get some good information from. Next thing, you got to name your offer. So you've got your idea, you've pulled it together, it's a PDF, it's a video, whatever it is, you got to name it. Now, sometimes people try to get cute and clever with their names, and really you just want to keep it short and simple here too. Let your audience know the problem you're going to solve, how you're going to solve it, and in how many steps. And this is what I mean. 10 simple tips to becoming a more confident public speaker. So people are scared of speaking. If you give me 10 tips so I can get up on stage and just totally rock it and be confident and not scared, I'm probably going to sign up for that. 5 Facebook ad templates that rock. 5 sales conversation templates to help you close your next sale with more confidence. So if you are in sales and you have a hard time with sales conversations, this would be really helpful. It's probably something that I would download, so that way I can follow along with this script, and when I get on the phone the next time, I feel better about closing the deal. So a couple things to keep in mind. Anytime you can use a number, you can quantify it, whether you say 5 tips, 10 tips, or in 7 days, in 30 days. Let people know how long, how much they've got to go through. Because if you say, make more money faster, that's not really telling anybody anything. Like, how are you going to do it? How are you going to solve? What problem are you going to solve? How long is it going to take to solve that problem? So anytime, like I said, anytime you can add those numbers to it, you can let them know how long, what problem you're going to solve. Just be really clear and straight to the point. You've got to call out their problem, how you're going to solve it, and then just be done. So, cute, funny titles work sometimes, but it's a lot harder to pull those off than it is to just be straight to the point. Okay, so the next thing, don't fall in love with your first offer. Clearly, I didn't even like my first offer, but that's okay. Test with ads to see what offer is working the best. So this is something I cannot stress enough. is that just because you've got an idea for an offer does not mean it's going to convert. You need to test it first. So if I can tell you anything, if I can stress anything, is when you've got your idea, let's say you're going to create a PDF, create it. Don't get crazy and go hire a graphic designer just yet, or hire a professional videographer to do it just yet. I mean, by all means, it needs to look professional. It needs to look like you put some time into it, but don't get crazy just yet. You want to test it out on Facebook first. Run some ads, send it to some people in your target market, see what they think about it, make sure that it works, because you don't want to spend a ton of time and money and it not convert and it not work, right? So like I said, create your PDF, create your video series, and then once you know it's working, then you can go in, you can make it better, you can tweak it, you can change it, and then put it out there for real. So, you know, you can just test this on a small group of people. Like I said, you can run just some Facebook ads for a few days, see if it works. Or if you've got a couple ideas, maybe you've got 2 different ideas, you want to see if one works better, it's a great place to start. But like I said, you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, because what if it doesn't convert? What if your ebook, for whatever reason, whether it's the title, it's, you know, the topic that it's based on, what if that doesn't get people excited? What if they're not responding to it? So always test it and see what works, like I said, because you just don't want to waste too much time and energy on one free offer. So that's really my big tip for today, is make sure you test it. So here are the tools that I use. These are all pretty simple, but if you're just getting started and you're not really sure how you pull all this together for your email list, you want to use something. I use Aweber. I love it. I know a lot of people like MailChimp. Fusionsoft is out there too, but you know, if you're just getting started, stick with Aweber or MailChimp. You don't need all the bells and whistles in Fusionsoft. To create your opt-in page, if you're not super techy, you don't want to go build a landing page and all this good stuff, just stick with Leadpages. Instapage is another one. I played around with it a little bit a while ago, but they were kind of just getting started and getting off the ground, so they didn't have all of the same features that Leadpages does. But Instapage works good, or you can use OptimizePress. If you are creating, let's say you're doing a PDF or your template, slide file, whatever it is, Dollar Photo Club is great for stock photos. I love it. I use it for everything. I pull all of my images just about from Dollar Photo Club. Super cheap. It's $10 a month, and you can download 10 images, and then after that, it's $1 an image. So we've got really cool pictures. So I think it's worth it to spend the $10 to make sure that you've got images that look nice, that you can swap them out if you need to test out different images. And then, of course, Canva. I love Canva. I think it's awesome. I create all the slides for this webinar in Canva every week. So I've got my template set up in Canva, and then I go in, I tweak it. That's where I created my PDF. All of my images for my ads. I mean, I love Canva. So I'm not a graphic designer, but at least with Canva, you know, I can get by at least testing a few things. And then when I'm ready to up, you know, my free offer, I can get a graphic designer if I need to make it look really nice, really professional. Okay, so here's where you guys can't laugh too hard, but I'm going to share with you some of my free offers that I tested out. So this is what I was talking about. This, the one on the right was my very first one. 5 tips for creating a raving Facebook page. It didn't even have a cover. I didn't even make a cover for it. And this was based on a presentation I'd given a couple times. So I just decided to drop it into Pages and turn it into a PDF. So it was just 5 tips. It's nothing too crazy. It was, you know, here's how you can brainstorm ideas for social media. Here's how often you should post. Here's where you could pull images, all of that good stuff. Pretty basic. Nothing too exciting. Nothing that you could go to Google anytime and pull and reblog post on this. You didn't have to give anyone your email. There's no big, great information in here. Nothing, you know, life-changing. So that was my first one. Like I said, pretty boring, not super exciting. I created it because I had my website. My website was just up, and I knew I needed to have something. And I didn't have a good idea that was popping out at me. So I did it just so I would have something up there so that I could create something better. My second option wasn't that much better. is my Create a Raving Facebook page video series. And I broke one of my own rules on this one. I think the videos, I'd have to go look, but I know they're over 5 minutes. I know they're not super long. I think maybe they're around 10 minutes. And it basically took those 5 tips that I talked about in my first offer, and it just expanded on it. But I mean, you can tell, like, look at that image. That image is terrible. I mean, it looks like some kind of training video for like a software or something. I mean, it's boring. The videos were fine. I think I ran some ads. It converted okay, but like I said, it wasn't anything interesting. It wasn't anything exciting. I don't think when people watch these videos or if they downloaded these templates or, I mean, these tips, that they were just blown away by it. Like, they were like, oh my God, this chick knows what she's talking about. Like, I need to stay on her list. This is awesome stuff. It was pretty basic. Like I said, it was anything. You could have gone out to a blog, post anywhere on Google, and read the exact same things. So it wasn't unique. It wasn't interesting. It didn't really stand out. Here's what's working for me now, though. Big difference just like alone in the images. So my Facebook ad templates that rock, like I mentioned, that works really well. But I want to explain why I've got 2. Because this was an interesting test that I did. So, okay, my 5 Facebook ad templates, that idea came first. It rocks. It converts. I get people on my list for about 70 cents an email, which is really good. I was really surprised by how well that performs. So I can get people on my list fast and for a low cost, right? So when I decided to do this free webinar series, you guys have heard me say this, I decided to test it out for 6 weeks, just see what happens. So I ran this ad, and I get people signing up for this webinar for about $1.40, $1.50. So it's a higher conversion rate, right? So I'm spending a little bit more to get people signed up for this. But here's the interesting thing, okay? So 70 cents for the templates and $1.50, we'll say, for the webinar series. I sat down and I broke down my numbers based on how many people are on each list. The webinar series list is a lot smaller than the ad template list, but my cost per email subscriber, what I actually make off of this list, I make more, almost double, off of the webinar series list than I do off the templates that rock. So I hope that makes sense. So for every person that's on my webinar series, those subscribers are worth more to me, because in the long run, they turn into clients at a higher rate than my 5 Facebook ad templates that rock. So if I had just based this solely on what I'm paying for the ads, like I'm paying 70 cents, I'm just going to stick with that. Why do I want to spend $1.45? I would have totally missed out on all these new clients that list has brought in. So it's really interesting to see. So that's something else you want to keep in mind, is what are your subscribers worth, right? So just because you might be paying a little bit more, it might be worth it, because it might be a stronger list, a better list. The cool thing too is, like, once I figured that out, I still run ads for both, but now I try to funnel the people from the ad templates into the webinar series, right? So that's been pretty cool to see. So don't take it at just, well, I'm paying this much lead, that's too high, or, I'm going to stick with this one because it's lower. Figure out what your subscribers are worth based on the list, especially if you've got a couple different free offers going. I think you'd be surprised at how that math might work out there. So that's my input on that. But like I said, I've got both of them running, and I love doing this webinar series, so I was going to do it anyway. It was just cool to see. So here are a couple other examples. We've got that I pulled free cheat sheet, 7 steps to a successful online course. See, it's pretty easy, 7 steps, and you can create an online course. That's pretty cool. I'm probably going to sign up for it, right? And then we've got 9 ways the pros are benefiting from Power Editor and you aren't in 60 minutes. So a couple things I like about this one, and I love John Loomer. He's awesome. So he's got 9 ways. So you've got your number in there. You're benefiting from Power Editor, but you aren't. No one wants to be left out. No one wants to be the loser that is missing out on all the excitement. So he's totally calling you out on this. So I think that title is really, really powerful. And you're going to learn it in 60 minutes. This is probably, a webinar that he's got that you can watch and learn how to use Power Editor. But, you can spend an hour and you can learn 9 ways to use this. And then you're not going to be the loser that doesn't know how to use it, because this is what all the cool kids are doing. So I think that that's a really, really powerful title. So I like that. So here's just a couple other examples to show you. And here's one from Ryan Deiss. Everybody loves Ryan Deiss. Download the social media swipe file. Like I said, I'm a big fan of swipe files. The ultimate social media swipe file. Still this headline swipe file to get more clicks from social media. Like I said, I love swipe files because anytime you can make my life a little bit easier and I can spend less time doing something, I am in. I love it. And Ryan Deiss and Digital Marketer, they're really good about this. They always have swipe files, templates. They just released their own Facebook ad templates. I'm not saying he got that idea from me. No, I'm just kidding. But they're really good about that, and it's always a really great value. So if you're not following him, which I'm sure you guys are, definitely check him out because like I said, his swipe files templates are really cool. So if that fits in with what you're doing and you want to create a really cool template or swipe file, check out some of the stuff that he's done. So let's see. Oh, quick question. What's a swipe file? A swipe file, I think it's a copywriting term. So anytime you see something, you can use a swipe file if you're reading emails and you see copy that you think is interesting. I just keep a folder in my email. So if there's emails that I like what they're saying, I like the pain points, you know, whatever, the copy that they're using, I'll drop it in my swipe file. But I also use it for things like templates. It's their swipe file. It's what's working. Like this is headlines. So it's just a list of all of the headlines that they've used that have worked. So they put it in a nice little file for you. So when you're going to create your headlines or you need to pull some different headlines to use, you can just go into the swipe file and just steal it from there and just take it out. So you can swipe it from them. My mom used to call it her rip and duplicate file is what I think she used to call it, to her R&D file. But it's a copywriting term. So it's basically just taking emails, templates, whatever that you think or that you might use later, that you could use as inspiration for an email, a blog post, and you just drop it into a file so you have it out there. So it's nice to have, especially if you're stuck and you can't come up with an idea, or if you need to write an email, or you know, you're trying to come up with a launch idea, whatever. It's nice to have because you can go back through it and it might spark something. All right, so we got through it all in 30 minutes. So if you got a question, you can always post it to the Facebook page or you can send me an email. hello@sociallabmarketing. Next week, we're going to talk all about images and copy for your ads. So how to really nail your copy for your Facebook ads and how to create images that actually grab attention. So that's what we're going to talk about next week. So go ahead and mark it on your calendar. Be here Tuesday at 2 p.m. And as always, if you missed this live for some reason, you can't make it one week, you always have the replay link in your email. So you can always just open up your email and check that out. Or you can pop over to YouTube. All of the videos are posted to YouTube too. So you can always go back and check them out there. All right, so that's it for this week. I hope you guys all have an awesome week, and I will see you next Tuesday at 2.